Hey guys, so I've been making a lot of makeup videos and now I'm gonna get back to the original you let me school you kind of like forum. So it's gonna start off with like makeup stuff. So as you know, I've mentioned in every video, there's a lot of makeup that has like stuff like arsenic. It could have asbestos, it could have talc, which isn't good for you. And it has carcinogens. A lot of people are complaining that they're getting styes and eye infections from certain makeups from China or from certain dupes and stuff like that. So just be careful. I'm going to be starting a podcast soon because what normally happens is the inspiration that I get for the YouTube channel, I get when I'm driving. And when I'm driving, I audio record everything that I'm thinking. Woo. And then I try to make a video out of it, but I forget a lot of things. So I figure I'm just going to post everything on the podcast. But the podcast, you know, like how like it's me in bed or me like in I just woke up, whatever. The podcast is going to be me in my car. Like I'm not editing it. So it's like you might hear my car, you might hear a beep, you might be a little fuzzy. But that's just the glory that is I. So I was talking about like the different makeup cosmetics, and I do think that it's a really good stock to invest in. Like look for different companies that that are growing. So for example, I was talking about finish the thought. I was talking about like all the stuff that's bad in it. They have BHT, which is in a lot of fragrances. They have parabens and things like that. So I love the company Philosophy. Right? They have a scent called Amazing Grace. I wear it all the time. People always stop me and say like, oh my God, you smell so good. I'm like, okay. But they don't do that with like the really expensive perfume. They do it with like the Philosophy. Go figure. I only buy Eau de Parfum. I don't buy Eau de Toilette of anything. And I realized that the Eau de Parfum has BHT as the last ingredient. Look it up. BHT and BHA in products, you shouldn't use it or buy it. So I don't put it on my skin anymore. Now I spray it on my clothes. And I remember there was like a huge thing where people were like, you shouldn't spray it on your skin. You should spray it on your clothes. But another reason you shouldn't spray it on your skin is if you notice the pulse points that they tell you that you should be putting your brain fart. Yeah. Okay. Let me like just chill. You know, I just had some weed brownies, so I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I hope this isn't kicking in now. But I think it's kicking in. Oh my God. I don't even remember what I was saying. So I was talking about Philosophy. So Philosophy, I know that their perfume has BHT. I know that their body cleansers have sulfates. You know, like the shampoo, body cleanser all in one. That has sulfates, which isn't good for you because it strips your hair. But I think it's really great for when you go on vacation because I love putting it in a little travel bottle so that when I go on vacation, I can take off all of the gunk from the beach, you know, and the sweat if you're climbing or whatever, or hiking or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing when you're sweating and you're doing adventure stuff. Like, so you want to wash that out and then still smell good. So I like using their body wash specifically when I travel. And then I know their lotions have parabens. But I love the smell, and that's what I was getting to, is that certain companies will get you with the smell. You know, so it may be bad for you, but that you're addicted to the smell. I'm totally addicted to Amazing Grace. I love Pure Grace. I love Baby Grace. I love all of them. But what happens is, I'm not sure if the original line had this, but a lot of people are complaining that their scents aren't the same. Okay, so originally it was owned by a woman named Christina, right? Christina sold it to the Carlisle group, right? The Carlisle group is a great company to invest in. They sold it to Coty, C-O-T-Y, and Coty downgraded a lot of different things, and it's not the same quality, right? So this is what happens with skincare lines. So you have to be very careful when you're purchasing a skincare line. Originally, it may have been amazing, but when they sell it to someone else, and then they sell it to someone else, little by little, it starts getting watered down. It's not the same. So La Mer, which is a very expensive brand, it's like the prestige brand of all brands. It's not a prestige cosmetic line, but it's exclusive. It's good. It's wealthy, like, you know, like it's for the wealthy. That one was made by a biophysicist or just a physicist. And he had a chemical burn and he was trying to find a way to heal it. So he did all these testing with like light and sound and seaweed. And he created this broth, right? So that when he died, 4 years later, they sold the company to somebody else, and they claimed to put that same formula into the products. But I'm pretty sure the formula they're putting in is synthesized or mass produced. When it's mass produced, like in a farm fashion, then it's not the same as when you're getting it from the wild, you know? So La Mer is still a great company with a great product, but once it was sold, it's very different. So what I'm saying is find these companies that are buying other companies and invest in their stock. See if their portfolio is growing. I know the Carlisle group is a good one. I don't know if they're public. I got to check that out. I know Coty bought philosophy from the Carlisle group. So basically for double what they paid. And that's what mergers and acquisitions are. They're companies that are buying smaller companies to grow them, to make the profit, you know, to increase the profit, which means they're going to cut costs in different places. And then they're going to sell the company again. Or they're just going to keep the company and just enjoy the profits. So when something like that happens, you have to be aware. Like if you have a favorite brand and you notice that something's different, you kind of have to be aware of that. So with that said, people are still probably going to use deodorants, which have heavy metals, which cause cancer. I just got a phone call from my friend today, and she told me that she thinks she has breast cancer again. So like that's what I was making another video earlier. So that's something that I have to deal with later. But like I kind of just told her, like, you know, you have to change your life. Like you're really stressed out. Like, you know, it's about changing the way that you think, the things that are causing you stress and dis-ease. And then the food that you eat, clearly, eliminating alcohol completely. Well, except for tequila, because tequila actually is really good for killing things in your stomach, and it makes you happy. It's the only liquor that's not a depressant. It actually makes you happy, which is weird because so many people black out on tequila. And I don't really understand that because I love tequila. That's like my favorite drink. But so many people will black out on it and be like, I don't remember, tequila. And I'm like, is it because they're depressed? I'm kidding. But I think it's, I don't know, but it's supposed to be really good. And it's also good for as a digestive. Anyway, so that's another subject. So we were talking about investing in companies. So I worked for this guy a while ago, and I was in his office for like a week or two, and I heard conversations of him buying these natural holistic businesses that were going out of business because they couldn't afford it. So he would buy them out, and then he would keep them in the forefront, like kind of like bail them out and then keep them there. And then later on, any changes that he made, they kind of had to go with. So he may have changed some of the stuff. I don't know exactly what happened. I'm just theoretically. He may have changed some of the items that they bought. He may have changed the quality of the items that they made. He may have changed the formulation, kind of like Coty did with philosophy. But nobody would be the wiser because they've trusted this company and they've trusted this family who started this company for so long that they would never think that they would do anything to harm them. And the family doesn't know really what's going on because they're just the face of the product now. So I just thought it was really interesting because I realized that a lot of these large businesses, these millionaires and billionaires, will buy fields or buy specific type of businesses. And then you see them like promoted everywhere on the internet. Oh my God. Oh, that's brownie mix. Oh. And then you see them promoted everywhere. So like you think turmeric is something new? No, turmeric has been around forever. But billionaires bought turmeric fields. Then they spent all this money on marketing and propaganda to the public to buy more turmeric. And turmeric was an amazing thing. But now that it's being mass produced and everyone's getting into it, it's now kind of being diluted and watered down because they're going to probably use GMO and a whole bunch of these other things to make it grow faster, you know, to meet with the demand. When you grow something faster or you grow a lot of it quickly, you know, or you pull it before it's ready, you don't have the same properties that it had. So there is a truth to everything that they're saying when it comes to testing. But by the time that it gets to the multitude of consumers, it is not the same quality. And those are things that you want to be aware of. So I only buy my shea butter. Like your skin is an organ. So what you put in it, you're absorbing, right? Let's go back to that perfume and the BHT and all that stuff, right? So you have to be very careful what you put on your skin because your body absorbs it. a lot of people are obese, okay? Because, I mean, don't take everything for what I say, but there's some truth for certain people, not for everybody, okay? Because of the things that they put on their skin and the food that they're eating. If you put perfume on your pulse points, which are your wrist and your neck, and some people put it behind their knees, some people put it under their arms, those are where your lymph nodes are located. And your lymph nodes are what release toxins. When your lymph nodes don't work properly, you can't release the toxins. It gets stuck in your body. It's like poison. You get inflamed. Okay. I have a 4.6 thyroid rate. I'm supposed to be supermodel skinny, like super thin all the time without even trying. I could eat whatever I want, right? I'm inflamed. My ESR rate is like a 5.3, which means I'm like 2.5 times more inflamed than the average person. Where is this inflammation coming from? So now I have to do another test to figure out what is the source of the inflammation. Part of it, I can almost guarantee, is that my body is not working properly. I know my lymph nodes aren't working properly. So I'm not just talking about myself, but I did a lot of research, which is where I came up with what I'm talking about right now. So when your lymph nodes aren't working properly, you're not getting rid of your toxins, and it's just building up in your body. And then that causes inflammation, because what's your body going to do? It's going to fight itself, right? When you're holding on to all these toxins. Deodorant has heavy metals, along with other things. The heavy metals stop you from sweating. What happens if you don't sweat? That's your lymph glands, right? So that's why a lot of women are getting breast cancer, which brings me back to my friend who had the breast cancer. I told her, I said, stop wearing deodorant for a while. Like, only use like maybe essential oils, or like create like a paste with baking soda and charcoal powder, and then like whatever scent you want to put on there. I was like, you might smell a little bit, but you got to touch it up throughout the day. But stop wearing deodorant for a while, because that gets into your armpits, and it gets into the surrounding tissue of the breast, and it causes breast cancer. For some people, it's really a big deal for some people. And for some people, that's not the reason. For some people, it's stress, it's genetics, it's a bunch of other things. So like, don't like start writing things about, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, okay, whatever. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of other factors. But for some people, that's the factor, or it's part of the problem, or it may have been like a contributory, like a, you know what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, that's what those products do. So I was talking about skincare. Lotions, I remember Carrie lotion was my favorite growing up. It was amazing. Then they changed the formula. I don't know why. It's never been the same since. And I don't like it. I will never use Carrie again ever since they changed the formula. But it was my favorite lotion, KERI. Now I use my friend's company. It's called BGLH-Marketplace. B as in boy, G as in girl, L as in love, H as in happy, -marketplace.com. And that's 100% shea butter or cocoa butter or mango butter. There's another one. And then, but it's refined. So it doesn't have like that smell. I think the cocoa butter and the mango butter might be raw, but the shea butter is refined, because, you know, shea butter naturally has like a really nasty scent. Or it's displeasing, because some people will be like, I like it, whatever. So she uses refined shea butter, and then she makes it in her factory, so you see it. I was hired to assemble some of her furniture before her store actually opened up, which is how I met her. I used to make my own shea butter, and I had my own skincare line, and I used the same process that she does by hand, but like with a mixer, is the same process that I use. Therefore, I feel comfortable buying her shea butter, because I'm not trying to sit in my kitchen and like create shea butter. Even though I did that with my friend Stephanie last year, it was really, really fun. But we had used natural shea butter that wasn't refined, so it had that scent. Even though we used like rose oil to try, like, you know, essential oil to like try to like cover it up, you can never get the scent out. That shea butter, ooh, that shea butter smell is like, in your face. And then what else? So I talked about that. I don't remember, but it was like a 20-minute audio that I did in the car about the stuff that I was talking about just now. The mergers and acquisitions, the big corporations taking over small businesses, and like then changing the formulation, how when a specific thing that used to work actually gets mass produced or mass farmed, like you lose the potency of it. Putting shea butter on your skin. So it's good, but you don't want to put too much on, because then you clog your pores. Your skin needs to breathe. And that goes back to the makeup. all of these makeup videos I've been watching, I look at how much they put. What is it? They put moisturizer, then they put primer, then they put foundation, then they put concealer, then they set it with powder, then they contour, which is either more liquid or more powder. Then they put more powder. What? Then they do their eyes, they do the primer, they do the eyeshadow, layers and layers and layers of eyeshadow. Then they do the eyeliner, and then they do the mascara, then they do the waterline on the inside and the bottom, then they smudge it on the I'm like, okay, first of all, not only are you creating a mess of wrinkles, right? That's why some people age more than others, because some people wear more makeup than others, you know? And when you put it on, not only are you rubbing against your face, even though they're like, oh, I'm using a brush, you're still putting pressure and friction on your skin. You may not be going like this, but you're still going like this. No bueno. Same thing with the Clarisonic. When you put it on your skin, yes, it does kind of help with collagen production, because it's constantly massaging your skin in a way that you haven't been massaging it forever. That's really cool, but it's also helping to create wrinkles, because when you shake something that much over and over and over again, it's not good. You wanna, if you're doing stuff like that, you want to do it sparingly. Same thing with the sonic toothbrush. Too much of that sonic movement will make your teeth fall out inevitably, because you're constantly vibrating it. Your teeth aren't supposed to vibrate like that much all day, every day. So using it sparingly, I think makes more sense than using it every day. Some people will say, no, it makes your gums stronger the more you use it. Yeah, but if you have any type of like gingivitis or slight gingivitis or diabetes, your gums aren't as strong as everybody else's, and therefore it's not good for you. So that's like little things that change the result. And the reason I like talking about these things is, like, the more you know, the more educated decisions you can make. And the whole point of the Let Me School You channel is let me share with you what I've learned so that we can all make better educated decisions. Because if we all do that as a community, as a planet, as a culture, whatever you want to call it, then we can further move up in life and help each other out. The worst thing to do is be surrounded by people who make bad decisions, and people who don't know how to use common sense or logic. They don't understand cause and effect. It's really important to understand one thing so you can understand the next. If you understand the basics of basically everything, then you'll know when somebody's talking crap, and you can distinguish that. Some people may think I'm talking crap. So be it. You're not my audience. Go find another channel. And some people may get what I'm trying to say. Some people have seen me pivot, where I had like a certain belief for a little bit of time, and then I changed that belief because I got more information, and that changed my thought process, and my belief system, because beliefs and thoughts and decisions can always change based on the information that you get. If you make a decision based on not enough information, then when you do get information, you might change that decision that you made, or you might change your belief, or you might change your habits, or so the more information you get, the easier it is to move forward. But a really interesting thing, side note, just as a philosophy thought, I'm actually starting a website called Philosophy Corner. It's going to be a blog. Every day I'm just going to ask a question and let everybody like write whatever answers they want. I'm not even going to read them. Like, sometimes I will, sometimes I won't, but I'm just going to let you guys kind of like go back and forth and talk about like what you think. And then I don't know if I want to do a podcast about it, but I just think it's interesting, like to kind of like throw out a question and kind of see how people feel, because I have this channel. Most people don't leave a lot of comments, so I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys think and what you believe, and how you feel about the things that I'm saying. But like I was saying, your beliefs, your thoughts, your patterns, everything can change based on the knowledge that you get. I was probably talking about something else before this, but I can't remember what it is, so I'm just going to keep it moving. So that's the Philosophy Corner. I have the website called philosophycorner.com. I'm going to build it this week. Today is January 6th. I'm going to go to bed tonight. So probably tomorrow or the day after, sometime this week, I'll build it. And then you guys can go to philosophycorner.com. It's just going to be a straight up blog. I'm going to post a question, and you guys can comment to your heart's desire. What else? And then We talked about that. Big corporations taking over. Those are really good stocks to invest in. Are these larger corporations that dilute everything? I mean, like, that's where the money's at. You know, the health industry, a lot of people are saying weed is a really good product. Like, try to find weed companies in the early onset, you know, like the early stages when they go public and the stock is low and they're growing, and, you know, so that you can start making money off of that. I know we spoke about Bitcoin a while ago. Bitcoin is still high, but I don't really see it going anywhere. There's a lot of other Bitcoins now that everyone's like, oh, get in now early before the price goes up. I maybe might invest $100, like $25 in each one, just to see. Because if it gets really big, then woo, and if it doesn't, then I don't feel bad. But I'm not going to go and spend thousands of dollars on things that aren't proven. Bitcoin is still out there. It's still proven. I like it. I think that's it. It's been 20 minutes. I really don't like making videos more than 20 minutes. If I think of anything else, I'll make another one. Bye.